Hey everyone, how's it going and welcome back to my channel. Today we're having another 5-minute manga review where I talk about brand new or newish manga series and give you my first impressions of them. It's not a full-length series review, especially since this manga is not only ongoing, but it also just had its second volume just released back in January. So, it's still somewhat fresh. I just was able to get a hold of this manga because I was on the wait list at my library for like 3 months, I kid you not. So finally got my hands on this manga and I have a lot of thoughts about it today. So today we are going to be talking about another shoujo manga, and that is, upside down, Spring Storm and Monster. I was so excited to finally get my hands on this. So I'm really excited to talk about this today. It's by Mitsubachi Miyuki, who also worked on Stray Cat and Wolf and Cheeky Brat. So if you've read any of those series, you know the style of art and the style of storytelling that Mitsubachi Miyuki often incorporates. So I'm really excited to talk about this manga today. If you've read this manga, feel free to comment below with your thoughts on volume 1 and or subscribe to this channel if you haven't already and you like this video. Anyway, let's put the timer. I don't know if it's going to be here or here. I don't have no idea. I always get confused. So yeah, let's set the timer and let's get started. So, Spring Storm and Monster. Spring Storm and Monster. I was really excited to read this manga because I liked the cover. I was like, oh, like a bad boy manga. Nice sunshine girl and bad boy. I was like, okay, like I want to read this. So that's why I had it on my to read list for a very, very long time. This manga is being released by Yen Press and it is, I think, older teen. I don't know. It's blocked by the library sticker. It's about this girl named Ranko. And Ranko is very, very relatable. At least for me. She's a girl who's very, very highly introverted. And it's depicted so naturally in this manga. I absolutely love her depiction because she's like, look, all these people causing drama, doing this and that, and I just want to go home and be in my safe space and do whatever I want. I avoid all the problems by being alone. I was like, girl, same. I really like the way they depicted Ranko and how she has a cute little like miniature pig as a pet. I just really, really liked her personality, especially as it was shown in the first few pages. So Ranko ends up stumbling upon this guy one day beating up on other people. And she's like, I'm going to go away from this guy because he's absolutely crazy. Unfortunately, her mother is getting married again, or did she get married? Something like that. And now the guy, her stepdad, is now going to be living in her house with them. So she's like, man, my peace is being disturbed. She's not too happy about this new addition to her family, but not only that, she has another addition to her family because this guy, Kaya, is now going to be living at her house as well. So not only does she have a new stepdad, but she has a new step sibling. The thing is, this is meant to be a romance, and you're definitely going to see some romantic elements in this first volume. Now, I'm not a person that likes the step sibling trope, so I did not like this vibe going on, basically. No thank you. Kaya is also a third-year middle schooler, so he's not even in high school like Ranko. I was like, I just don't know about that. There's an age gap, and there's also the step-sibling thing going on, and those are two big things that I'm just not a big fan of, but I was curious, so I continued and I finished the volume. What I liked about Spring Storm and Monster, are the characters, basically. Ranko is very interesting because she doesn't want her peace disturbed, but at the same time, she's putting her nose into where there's no peace. It seems like every twist and turn that she takes, she's getting involved in this guy's life. Kaya is, he hangs out with the wrong people. He does the wrong things, He's not a perfect person. He's a flawed character, but at the same time, he has a backstory. Now, we don't know everything about Kaya just yet, but just seeing some of their interactions and seeing how he responds to her and how he's just like, thank you for being kind to me, you know that he has a bad past. And so I think Kaya is a character who has many layers, and for that reason, I'm curious in knowing more about him and seeing how he's going to change as a character. Ranko also has layers as a character because yes, she's introverted, but she's willing to I don't want to say that she's willing to, but she's putting herself in these risky situations even though she wants to keep her peace. So I'm interested in knowing what on earth is going to happen to her too. But at the same time, I don't like the step sibling trope. At the same time, I don't like this kind of age gap. I don't know how many years they have between them, but this dude is like, what, 13? And she's like, what, 15, 16? Like, okay, that's not that big of a age gap, but I don't know. Ugh. I'm interested in seeing in how their relationship develops, but personally, I don't think I want to see a romantic relationship from them. I'd rather see how they grow as a family, how the four of them grow as a family, and how Kaya ends up having more safety in this family now that he met Ranko. I don't think necessarily that he needs a romantic relationship with her. I think he needs safety, and I think that he can get that from a family bond too, instead of going or jumping to the romance. There's already romance in this first volume, and I'm like, I feel like it's not necessary. This is a story that doesn't have to be a romance, in my opinion. You know, I like the art. It's not too complicated, not overly amazing or anything, but I like the art. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm really interested when it comes to the character development. So if anything, if I continue reading this manga, I'm going to continue reading it for the development because I want to see how they grow as characters. But at the same time, I'm a little on the fence about continuing this manga. I'm like, maybe I will, maybe I won't. You know, I'm a little disappointed, but I'm glad that I gave it a shot, and I'm willing to read volume 2. So just saying, you know, it's not for me. If it's if you like those tropes, you'll probably like Spring Storm and Monster, but it's just not for me. And that happens sometimes. You know, you get series that are just not for you, and this series is unfortunately not for me necessarily. I don't know, maybe it'll pick up. If you've read Spring Storm Monster, why don't you comment below? Let me know. Does it pick up? Does it change a little bit? Do we know or learn more about Kaya? I'm really curious to know about that. But anyway, those were my thoughts on Spring Storm and Monster Volume 1. I plan on talking more about manga, not just shoujo or josei or, one particular demographic. I want to talk about all the manga as I read more manga. So definitely stay tuned for more manga reviews. I plan to bring more to this channel, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Totally appreciate it. Please like, share, or subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time.